Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode. So today's episode is from work but I just wanted to come on here and share this with y'all because I just been thinking about this today. And this episode is for the women who find themselves getting played or find themselves always being lied to, taken advantage of. You just can't seem to get over the issues that you have with men. This episode is for you. This episode is not for women who still live in that fairy tale of being in love and what a man should be, and you're not ready to let men go. You're not ready to let go of that thought process. This episode is not for you, because you're gonna probably listen to this and think that I'm trying to talk you out of men and stuff. I'm not trying to talk you out of no man. If you want to keep doing that and keep dealing with them and stuff, go ahead. But these men are not wired like us. You must realize that. You have to realize that. Okay? Get it through your head. These men live a totally different life. They live in a totally different world. Okay? Men, especially these black men, they live in a world with a whole bunch of different rules, and when they wake up in the morning, there's certain stuff that they think and feel and do, and it's just totally different from how we live. Okay? So please give yourself time and grace to mourn everything you used to think about men, how you was raised to think how they're supposed to be and everything like that. Have a little funeral for all those expectations, because your perspective is going to change. And as a woman, I really encourage you to learn as much as you can about human behavior and focus your learning on men specifically. I think that's very important. To find you some books. I have a book I'm going to tell y'all about a little bit later. Find you some books and look around and read. You know, when you're in a waiting room, or when you're just sitting at home doing nothing, or right before bed, read a book. Read about the human behavior. Read about human intellect. Read about men and just the way things work. Because the more you learn, the less disappointed you'll be. And it'll be a lot easier to separate your emotions from men and from the expectations that we put on men. Because in my opinion, your emotions should be saved for yourself and for your children and your family and stuff. You should not be over pouring out your emotions to these men. Okay? And yes, it will hurt. It will. Because that first wake up call and that jolt that you get from hearing this type of information, it does hurt your feelings, because it's like, dang, I really like men, and I really thought that maybe one day I'll find a man and it would just be all perfect, and it would be like this and how I wanted. And you know, you're going to want to turn back on yourself. You're going to want to say, I want to go back to not knowing. I want to go back to being ignorant, blissful ignorance. So that's why I said, if you want to stay blissfully ignorant and you don't want to know, do not listen to this. Because y'all have to remember, this is another subgroup. This is another part of observer mode. Okay? If you haven't listened to observer mode episode, go listen to that. This is another part that adds on to being in observer mode. When you have a full understanding of something, you know how to make it work for you. You know? Like, you'll know how it works. You'll know how to make it work for you. And you'll know how to stop having issues and how to avoid it touching your emotions and your heart, and how you can avoid it affecting your mental. You know, once you learn these things, you'll be able to avoid just a little bit better and protect yourself. The things I'm sharing with you are ways to protect your heart and your emotions, and sometimes your mental health. Like, these things, I'm not telling you this to hurt you. I'm telling you this to show you and open your eyes to things, because I'm tired of seeing us go out sad behind these men. And as women, we have to stop putting the expectations on men when they show us the first time. When they show us who they are the first time, we have to say, you know what? I'm gone. You have to stop. They're not going to change. And I've heard it so many times. I've heard people that I know personally, my own family members, telling their girlfriends and their wives, I was like this when you met me. I don't know why you think you're going to change me. You ain't never going to change me. I've been the same the whole time. I always been like this. I always been like this. Open your eyes. Because I'm in the space of blocking right now. I'm in the space of blocking and moving on with my life. Because I don't have to deal with nothing that I don't want to deal with. If I don't like something, they gone. And you don't have to deal with it either. You don't have to deal with it either. These men will try to make you, they'll try to make you feel like you do have to deal with it. Because there was a video going around on TikTok with the guy. He was like, what he say? Y'all women gonna have to settle at some point. He said something along the lines of that. Y'all women, y'all gonna have to settle. You gonna have to settle. And no, you don't. How do I have to settle if I don't be with you? I don't have to settle if I just don't be with y'all. If I just don't date, or I don't get in no serious relationship, or give my heart to a man completely. You know, like, I'm not settling at all. How I'm settling if I don't marry nobody? How I'm settling if I don't have kids with nobody? Or if I stop dealing with bullshit? How am I settling? But what I've realized is they're afraid. And I'll tell y'all this. I'll tell y'all this pro tip. Talking to a man and talking to different men and asking them questions, and because they'll be happy to tell you their opinion. They'll be happy to have a conversation with you about it. Hearing how they think and what their opinions are and where their mind is at on certain things, it'll teach you a lot. And I'm not saying go to your boyfriend. Don't go to your boyfriend. Go to somebody go to your dad. Go to your brother. Go to one of your co-workers. Go to people who are outside of your gaze. People who you're not interested in. And people who you don't have the intention to ever give your feelings to. Talk to them. Because what they say ain't going to affect you. You see what I'm saying? Because you are in observer mode. So what they're saying is not going to affect you. They're just teaching you what they think. You are becoming a student in that moment. You just gathering information. But they are afraid. That's what I've learned. They're afraid that, and you know what's crazy? They're not scared of nothing else. They are not scared of the consequences of their actions. They're not scared to go to jail. They're not scared to get jumped and beat up. They're not scared of nothing else. But what they are scared of is being lonely. That scares the shit out of these men. And it's probably, I don't know about other men, because it's probably just black men. But black men, they are deathly afraid of being lonely. They don't want to be lonely. So they'll have as many kids with as many women as they want to. They'll be with a woman they could be in their 40s. They'll go be with a woman who already have grown kids and grandkids, because they done fucked their life up so much that no other woman want them, or because the woman already had a family, maybe her husband died or her husband divorced or whatever, so now he got to rent a family. Now he got a family that's already made for him. All he got to do is put himself in that spot. Now he's a husband, he's a father, he's a grandfather, he's all the things that he wanted to be. Y'all have to open y'all eyes to what these men be doing. They don't want to be lonely, so they're going to have a roster of all these different women, even if that's not what he's trying to do. He might have 6 different women he talking to because he doesn't want to be lonely. He doesn't want to feel like he's by himself. He wants to feel like somebody will need him around. And they always have to bring up a legacy. They have to have kids to have a legacy. And it don't matter if the child gonna suffer through poverty and abuse. It don't matter if the child gonna grow up and be a bum just like them. As long as they have a child on this earth, as long as they have something, then that's good enough for them, because they don't have nothing else to offer. They didn't go through life and realize what they wanted and what they didn't want and create the life that they wanted. They went through life and fucked it up. They went through life doing stupid shit, getting suspended and expelled and going to jail, going to prison and doing all these different things that don't matter. And now they got shit on their record, so they can't get a good job. They can't get a good career. And now they can't create the life of their dreams, but they can get your ass pregnant though. They can have you to have a child. And as long as they can do that, then that's something that they're able to take pride in. That's some type of accomplishment. Walking around thinking that they God's gift to earth and God's gift to everybody else, and we should respect and worship them because they can have children, and they, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have these kids. And they sit around and talk about their women and sit around and talk about their baby mama. Well, that's my child too. That's my child. Really, that's my child. Because you wouldn't have that child if it wasn't for me. If it wasn't for me. And I'm here to tell y'all that it's true, but at the same time, it's not true. Because it will break their heart to learn the truth behind it and the science behind it. And this is why it's so important not to be ignorant, ladies. It's so important for you not to be ignorant and for you to go do research for yourself and to read books and to just pay attention to things. A man's sperm is fertilizer. Okay? I'm going to say that again. A man's sperm is fertilizer. It is not the children. Okay? So when everybody be saying, oh, I swallow his kids, or, he squirted his kids on me, or whatever people be saying. Those are not kids. The sperm is not the children. The sperm is not babies. He is not shooting babies up into you. Okay? Women hold the egg. Their egg is another egg inside of another egg. So for example, my eggs that's inside me right now are the same eggs that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. Okay? I'm not going to produce new eggs. The eggs that are inside me are the same eggs that were inside my mom. My mom eggs was inside of her mom. So, for example, right now, if I was to have a daughter, the eggs that I have will produce my daughter. My daughter has eggs inside of her that's always been there and will always be there. So I'm carrying my daughter. I'm also carrying my granddaughter. And I'm also carrying my great-granddaughter because the eggs are always there. So that's how that works. You will probably have to see a diagram to kind of understand if you don't get it. But the eggs are just always there. I was inside my grandma because I was inside my mom. You see what I'm saying? So these men really think that they are giving you the seed, the eggs. They think they're giving you the baby when the baby's always been there. The baby has always been there. The sperm just comes up and gets inside of the egg to help it grow. That's it. Excuse me. These men took what we learned in school and they ran with it without listening to anything else. They provide the sperm that activates the egg for it to grow. They are not giving you a child. The child is already in you. The egg is the baby. It's already inside of you. And this is why reading books is important once again. Because, believe it or not, there was a point in time when women were able to get pregnant on their own. They were able to get pregnant asexually. And that is called parthenogenesis. Years and years and years, look, a long time ago, women were able to impregnate themselves. It's called parthenogenesis. You can look it up and it will literally tell you the process of asexually giving birth to a child, giving birth, to your offspring without the need of fertilizer or fertilization. Okay? Parthenogenesis, which is the first book of the Bible. Really, it's called Genesis. Yeah, it's called that for a reason. But we'll get into that another time. But I say all of this to say, stop caring so much about what these men say, about what they do, and move differently. Protect yourself, protect your heart, protect your mind. Move in a way that's going to keep you safe. Move in a way that's going to make sure that you come out okay or come out better than what you were when you messed with that man or when you got involved with that man. You have to use your mind. You have to use your brain. Because, yeah, men are logical, but once that dick get hard, everything goes out the window. Nothing else matters. Okay? Being lied to, being cheated on, all that, baby. Men do everything for some pussy. Whatever they do, it's all based off of how they gonna get some pussy. Like, majority of it is based off of how they gonna get some pussy. If it ain't got nothing to do with their actual job. So the book I was gonna tell y'all about is called What Men Don't Want Women to Know. And if you don't want to buy it and have a hardback cover to keep in your house, you can excuse me. You can type in What Men Don't Want Women to Know PDF, and then you can read it for free online. I think I have the PDF link. I'll link it in the description. And if I forget to link it in the description, y'all, please message me and tell me to send you the PDF for What Men Don't Want Women to Know book, and I'll send it to you. Because we should be able to get this information for free anyway. But yes, that book is going to change your perspective. It's going to hurt your feelings. And it's going to make you really think about how you be giving your all to these men. And stop telling them everything. That's the last part. Stop telling these men everything. There's no reason why you going around here talking about, oh, well, I listened to this podcast and she telling us this and she telling us that and telling us about men and how they work. There's no reason. You don't tell them everything because they're not telling you everything. I promise you, they're not telling you everything that they do and every video they watch and everything that they hear. They're not telling you. Take this information that I give y'all and the information you get from other things. Keep it to yourself. Use it to your advantage. Why would you tell them something so that they can make it not work for you? Take information, make it work for you, and keep it to yourself. But that's all I have for y'all today. And I will catch y'all in the very next one.